How you doing, guys? Welcome back. It's LSP. Today we are going to be discussing some things that I hope are going to help you prevent your cryptocurrency investments from going to zero. So when we look at the general market at the moment, looking at Bitcoin, and we say, okay, I think deep down all of us know Bitcoin's not going to rally. No matter how many times we look at it, no matter what the narrative is, doesn't matter what the news say, doesn't matter what the maxis say, doesn't matter what I say. I think predominantly the general consensus is that Bitcoin isn't going to rally anytime soon. Even if it stays where it is, it's just unlikely we're going to get this really nice recovery, right? So with that in mind, I want to go over to the charts in a moment, and I want to explain what happens to newer investors and even seasoned investors when they're looking at the price of Bitcoin or looking to engage in any asset really, and how if you start with a certain amount of money, let's say for argument's sake $5,000, that $5,000 can be whittled away to almost nothing. So by the time we finally get the bottom, by the time we finally get that reversal, there's almost nothing left for you to invest. So with that said, let's go over to the charts, and I want to give you an example whilst also doing the analysis on Bitcoin. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Smash that like button and let's get over to the charts. So when we look at Bitcoin like this, I've made a reference to just a level down here. It's not exact. It's roughly about 16,000. Okay. And the reason I've put this here is I want to give you guys a very simple example. We can see that Bitcoin is turning now, right? But a little bit of movement to the downside over the last couple of days, and it is looking like it's probably going to continue at least to this low down here. Okay, the low currently comes in at roughly around about sort of 17.6. It is likely that we're going to be driving towards that, but this level right here is key. We really need to see some response from here. But let's go back to what we were discussing in terms of cryptocurrency investments and what to do in this moment. How do people engage with these markets, right? So we've got a level down here at 16,000. Let's say you're looking at price and you're like, do you know what? It really looks like it's going to go down. Your gut is telling you you're probably going to see 16,000 on Bitcoin at some point soon. So from 16,000 to where current price is roughly around about a 13 to 14% drop. Okay. So this is the range that we have to play with, right? And if you say to yourself, there's absolutely nothing that I can do, until that range is traded, through and price hits 16,000, then, you'll be okay. If you do that, that's fine. But what generally tends to happen is, and let's say we've got $5,000 to play with, people look at this and say, that little voice in your head starts to whisper, but what if it doesn't get to 16,000? Do you know what? I'll stick 1,000 in now. And if it goes lower, I'll just add to my position. But if it goes, then that's great. At least I'm in, right, at this moment. There's the first mistake, because what happens is, in almost all cases, and I'm sure people can attest to this who are veterans of the market, or even those who are new, whether it's cryptocurrency or trading or investing, it doesn't matter. If you're new to the market, you can probably attest to this as well, that you've been in something where you kind of looked at it and just said, why didn't I just wait? I knew it was going to hit that level. If you've ever said that to yourself, you need to start to learn to trust your instincts, trust your gut, and just trust your analysis. When you do that, it keeps you out of the market and prevents you from doing what I'm about to go through now. So if we go back to the charts, we can see, let's say we pick some up, roughly 19,000. So we've just thrown $1,000 in. We've got $4,000 left. That little voice in our head is, just wait. If it goes down, add some more. But here's the issue. What generally happens is price may go down. Let's say, 18.5, and you immediately add another 1,000, which brings your cost down to halfway between 19,000 and 18.5, 18,750. You've done nothing. You've done absolutely nothing on a asset class that is extremely volatile and can move thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars within minutes, right? So you're now in for 2,000. You've got 3,000 left. Price starts to maybe run a little bit. Let's say it gets to 19.5. You're in profit. You think you're a genius. Everybody's happy, happy days, right? And then the market starts to turn and it drops again. And when the market starts to drop and it goes past your entry point, your average cost, past 18,000, starts to drive towards 17.5, possibly 17. Now you're starting to panic. Now you're in twice. So you've got $2,000 in Bitcoin, and your profit and loss, or loss in this case, is actually larger than it was when you first initially got into Bitcoin. But it's okay, right? Because that little voice in your head is saying, don't worry, just add when it gets to 16,000, right? No problem. So what happens? Let's go back to the chart. Price continues to go down. Let's do this visually. So price continues to go down, and then eventually you get to a point where it hits this low and you are convinced that this low is going to hold. You grab some more, roughly around about 17,000, and you just say, do you know what? I need to bring that cost in. I'm going to pile it all in. So you put the full sort of, 5K in. Your average cost comes down a little bit, maybe sort of just under 18K. And excuse me. And now you're in full amount. Your loss is, still there because nothing's changed. And then ultimately you end up in a situation where you've got your full allocation of $5,000 into Bitcoin and you still haven't hit 16,000 yet. I know there's an argument to be made, and I've said this many times, right? That price may not go down to the levels that you think. But if you space your orders out, if you're patient and you wait, wouldn't it be better to at least give Bitcoin an opportunity to, say, get down to 16,000 or whatever asset class you're looking at, the price that you're looking at? Wouldn't it be better for price to get there first, and then you just pile the whole amount in, or at least half the amount, or whatever the case may be, and then you add on the way back up, as opposed to doing what I've just gone through, and then you whittle your money down to almost nothing. You've got no buying power left, and then you're in a situation where Bitcoin has to go back up for you to make money, as opposed to Bitcoin going up anyway, and you're already in profit. There is a way to trade and invest, right, where you're putting yourself on the right side of things, even if it's going against you. So you're practically, either at break even or in profit. And all it requires is discipline, time, and patience to remove the emotion out of these problems, and just engage in a way that makes sense. So going back to the chart, let's say we just get that continuation. It finally hits 16,000. And now you've got $5,000 in Bitcoin at an average cost that is terrible. Okay. And you're down, thousands on your investment when it would, when it could have been completely avoided. Right. So I know, like I said, there's many variables, about trading. There's many ways to get into markets. There's many ways, to engage. But the most important thing for us is to make sure that we're doing it in a way that makes sense. Really look at your investments. Look at the general market. Look at everything that's going on right now in this, in this cycle that we're in, and really give yourself permission to accept it's probably not going up, guys. Like, Bitcoin is not going up. It's not showing us any indication that it wants to go higher. It is the benchmark. It is the one, that is ultimately going to be the driving force for the for the entire cryptocurrency market. And if this is going down, everything's going to be going down with it. So we can see that price is almost at the point now where if it starts to accelerate and it gets below this low, it is very likely that we see 15,000. And I want to be really clear about something. If Bitcoin grinds lower, and I mean just slow, boring, pops a little bit, comes down a little bit, and it's just grinding towards that 16,000, 15,000 level, that is not good. We need full capitulation. We need price to drop, tank really hard, cause max pain, fear in the market, and then it snaps back and we get a really nice reversal. And then we can start to consider that this may very well be the bottom. But the longer it bleeds like this, the more likely it is to continue and continue and continue. And dare I say it, we may very well end up down to 14K, the original level that I was talking about in the crash video, and even possibly lower. All right. So just be really careful. Have a plan. Space things out. Be patient. Trust your gut. Trust your instincts. And don't put yourself in positions that make you feel like you've made a mistake. Really pay attention and really have a plan in place. And more importantly, be patient. With all of that said, I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. And I look forward to speaking to you very soon. All the best. Take care. Ciao for now.